Welcome to It's Also a Podcast. My name is PartFootball. Joining me as always is Paragade.
Hello.
My rotational host this week is Chris.
G'day.
And our special guest this week is HymenTester from Reddit.
How you going?
Alright, it's also a podcast. Let's get started. So, gents, let's get to the big thread right away. Lately we've been seeing a lot of, what do you want in Volume 3? There's actually one that took off pretty big a while ago, so I want to get all of y'all's opinions on that before we jump into some of the things that we saw in the actual thread. So, Paragade, why don't you start us off? What's something you want in Volume 3?
The one that I saw that I probably agree the most is like character development for Ruby and just Team Ruby in general. Because Ruby in general, she has really done not a whole lot, especially in Volume 2. She was really sidelined, and for being basically the title character, I think she's been kind of getting the short end of the stick.
Right. So, do you not think her kind of, who should be the leader in Volume 1 doesn't really justify as a lot of character development?
It has, but like other than that, there's really been like she really didn't do anything in season 2. Like a lot of this, like she kind of just failed her way, like stumbled her way into all these little events that really anybody could have done.
Okay. Chris, what do you think?
I agree on character development. I think that was probably everyone's biggest. But uh, and I think that it's hard to tell because there was a lot of scenes where characters were sort of just there, but nothing really happened for them as a character. Like there were lots of events which could have had basically any couple of characters having them happen to them, and
Okay.
it didn't really develop them very much.
So, both of y'all aren't really. I mean, I don't know how much of the Ruby and Penny relationship we could really count as Ruby's development, but I kind of felt that was like showing how kind of open and like I don't know really how to say this, but like she shows that she's willing to give everyone a chance, and that's someone she cares about, right? It's it may be kind of a nice starting point that we may see like other android-like human or human-like androids. Excuse me. What are your thoughts, Tester?
Um, I don't think there's going to be many more like androids in the show, unless Ironwood's one. But what I wanted to
That'd be
see,
quite the plot twist.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
that would be. What I wanted to see was the episodes to be more balanced
Right.
and well, not necessarily less Juniper, just more Ruby
Yeah.
and
So we're
and yeah, and just the finale needed to be, well, just better, hopefully.
just better. All right. So hold on. If we have Nike is Just Do It, who's gonna be just better?
Hmm.
Not
Monty.
Adidas. Monty. Done. All right. So Team Ruby specifically. What about Yang? Are y'all hoping, or what are your thoughts on Raven? Because that's definitely gonna be a big part of Volume 3. I feel.
Yeah, I definitely felt that that was like one of their biggest kind of like lead-ins to Volume 3 was the whole Raven thing, that whole cliffhanger, and I'm definitely excited to see more Yang development because she out of I think out of Team Ruby she's definitely kind of just been there like support for Ruby.
Right. And then we did have that flashback sequence with her and Blake, but I can't think of any time other than that. Well, apart from Mountain Glen, where the three girls had their, why we want to be huntresses, right? But
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, apart from that, Chris, correct me if I'm wrong, but there should be. I mean, because we've had of the main 8, all of them have kind of had a small bit, except Ren and Nora. So that's kind of something I want to see, and I know a lot of people uh, agree to that. But is
One,
there a chance that they get sidelined again for another one
It,
of the main
it's
characters getting a storyline?
possible that they'll be sidelined a bit for the tournament. Like we're kind of being shown that this village is pretty important for whatever their backstory is, or at least Ren's.
yeah, I was about to
So
mention that. Like,
if the tournament happens, then that might delay them getting to the village a bit more. But hopefully that's when they'll get a good portion of their character development happening.
So you still think they're going to the village sometime? That it wasn't like a one-time, mission type thing.
I they mentioned it and they pointed out that it was important to them. So I don't think they just that would be just such like a big tease that I don't think they would do that, even though it is Monty.
Right. Greg, what are your thoughts? Or
Um,
Tester, excuse me.
I think that they might go there, but whether or not it's actually covered in any detail, I kind of doubt. But they might. I feel they might have more development in the show, but whether or not the village is a part of that, I don't know.
All right. Who of the two is it? Is it going to be Ren getting the development, or are we going to see Nora? Because we did have Boop, right? I mean, is that going to be a big thing to see, or is there going to be, Ren's backstory with the village? Because he was the one that John stopped, right?
Yeah.
Which, if you had to pick one, which would it be that
Um,
you'd want to see?
I, I'd say Ren, just 'cause he seems like we don't really know too much about Ren. He's quiet, and that's about all we really know about him. He's quiet and likes Nora.
yeah. See, I agree with Chris for like in terms of like what would be more interesting, but uh, my best girl tendencies has to say Nora.
That's fair. Um, Personally, I I'd have to say I want to see Nora because yeah, she's all over Ren. Like, oh, we've been friends for so long, blah blah. But apart from that, she's just kind of stuck to Ren's hip, right? Like Ren's just kind of going along doing his own thing. So what makes Nora want to stay with him when she now has John and Pyrrha, right? I mean,
Yeah, I I think that's definitely like a good thing. And I do got to say that Ren and Nora they're probably I definitely am really interested in seeing more character development from them, considering right now they're pretty much delegated to kind of like a Siskel and Ebert or like Abbott and Costello style like comedy gag.
yeah. Um, and I mean they do go together, like they go together like peas and carrots. But I think of the two, I'd have to go with Nora. Um, Chris, what are your thoughts?
I already said what I
You're
thought.
confusing your
Ah,
Australians there, buddy.
Yeah.
for those of you who can't tell, Chris and Tester are both Australians, so get them mixed up every now and then. But
Unheard.
Tester, your thoughts?
Uh, I don't know. I think I'd like to see more Nora development. Just, like some backstory as to why she's so insane, I guess.
Do you really need a
She's,
reason, though?
well, it'd be nice, I reckon. You don't really need a reason, but it'd be good to have, I think. And then
Right.
maybe that would reveal why Ren still sticks with her.
Yeah. I think probably the easiest guess would be they grew up together. Possibly same village, but you know why else? Like or we know they grew up together, I should say. We've been friends for so long. I was in episode 3 or 4, but uh, as far as growing up together, I mean, like, possibly one was adopted, or they literally grew up next to each other, like side by side neighbors. So I think if that's the case, then the village would be very important to both of them, and that would be a good thing to see, like the village being possibly destroyed because, you know, they couldn't get to their mission on time, Just something to think about, right? So,
Might be a bit dark for where the show's going at the moment, though.
That would be
Yeah.
tragic,
And
and
again, the show
now I
getting
want to see
darker.
that. Yeah.
speaking of tragic things you want to see,
Oh boy.
character
Uh-oh.
death.
Uh-huh.
Do you want it? And,
I
and, and I'm talking like, main characters, right? Like main 8, and then, Sun, Neptune, Ozpen, Glinda, someone who's had more screen time than, like, Shopkeep, right?
I feel like we don't really know the characters quite well enough yet for their deaths to, like, if someone's best girl dies, they're going to be pretty upset, but otherwise, the characters sort of don't have too much emotional impact.
Okay, so it's a bit too early. We haven't made
Yeah.
that connection with them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the tone's sort of been pretty upbeat so far, so it'll be quite a dramatic reversal. So I doubt that we'll see anything like that, at least before the tournament.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like that. Yeah. Given the tone of the show, any kind of character development or character death would probably feel like kind of contrived. Like it would be very hard to be able to hit that perfectly without it feeling just really out of place and contrived.
Oh, guess that. I feel maybe you could kill off Team Coffee just because they've already established them as separate now because they're like another year group, and like if they did that, it would sort of hit the other teams, the real situation that the world's still dangerous.
Yeah.
I think that would be an interesting kind of like morph effect moment with like how badass they've been established as to like see them getting taken out. That would be like, oh shit, like it's going down.
But if Velvet dies, I'll be mad.
Yeah.
Nah,
People would
man,
riot.
just make all the people cry.
Yeah.
Lose the one bunny girl that the show has.
Oh,
But
can't do that, man.
uh, so that that would accomplish a couple things, I think. One, if they got killed by Grimm, have okay, so maybe Grimm can do something, right? Because we saw how easily they took him out in Breach. So if
Yeah.
it's just kind of like a report, like they got killed by Grimm, all right, so this is either a lot more than what we saw in Breach, or there's something else, like, a they got in a fight with one of the elephant Grimm,
The Negagrim.
oh,
Goliath, is it?
yeah, I think
Yeah,
Goliath is
Goliath.
the elephant Grimm. But yeah, the Negagrim you're referring to from Grim Eclipse, the white Beowulf. So that's something to think about because I, although I'd like to say like, oh no, it's just kind of an extra boss in Grim Eclipse, right? It it might be a hint to something we could see further on, right?
Yeah, I mean, we know Grimm get smarter as they get older, so it's possible they could either change colors a bit as they age or get slightly bigger as well.
Right. So to go off that, we saw in what was it, World of Remnant 3, which was about the Grim. We saw a Grim. If I remember correctly, it's a Beowulf kind of growing up, and it gets the spikes and whatnot. Could it become a different type of Grim. Like, right now we have Beowulf's, Ursa, the hedge or the
Borbatusk.
Borbatusk. Excuse me. I don't know why I was saying hedgehog. But then the Goliath and the unnamed kind of lizard type one that we saw in Breach. Would that be like? Could it change as it got older? Is that something y'all would consider them doing?
I I don't think so. I don't know. It just doesn't really seem to fit like with the diversity of the Grimm. I don't think it would really work, but I think it would be interesting to kind of at least get hints on like how these things came about, like how they're created, like where
Right.
they come from.
Yeah, I mean, we've got that sort of story right near the start that talks about them being manifestations of what was I can't quite remember. I saw it a while ago, but we don't really know anything about where Grimm come from apart from that sort of legend type story that we heard at the start.
Yeah, and it's very folktale kind of.
Yeah, it's kind of like they were always here, and then humans struggled, and then they found dust, and then they went from there.
Exactly. So as far as character death, we're all kind of saying like, let's wait a minute. But what about just straight up removing a character? Like not even, write them out, just like they were never there. So,
They get transferred to one of the other schools.
oh yeah. So
Never see them again.
and I know if we pose this question on like subreddit or something, we'll probably get a lot of answers for Sun or Neptune to try and
Or
fix
Dawn,
some of
depending on the mood of some people.
Oh, buddy.
Let's remove the good characters.
Nah, I mean,
Remove
Get-
It's all
everybody
about
but
that
Team
sea
Coffee.
monkeys.
oh.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
both of the Australians are sea monkey shippers. So
Nah, I'm not really. I'm just kind of indifferent to them.
nah, Chris, you're the one who brought it
No
up.
need for denial.
Yeah, I brought it up because I know Tester likes it.
Ain't no shame. So,
No shame at all.
but yeah, as far as removal, I personally want to say Cardin just because I can't stand him. But
Yeah, get him expelled.
I mean, you could have another story. Like there's plenty of
Oh, speaking
potential
of character
for
death, instead of
Cardin.
killing off Team Coffee, you can just
Kill off
kill off
Cardinal.
Cardinal.
Oh,
Because
please.
everyone's going to care about that.
Yeah.
But as I was saying, there are potential storylines that I can see with Cardinal, and specifically Cardin. Redemption with him and
Yeah.
Velvet. Kind of a Karate Kid type moment with him and John. Like, hey, I respect you. Something along those lines. But I don't know. I just hate him so much. And
If
go ahead.
if they did kill off Team Cardinal, I could see him having like a cool kind of Boromir kind like style redemption moment at like some kind of
Oh.
last stand. I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think I'd prefer if they just died. They don't really need to be redeemed. We'll just get rid of them.
Man.
Like, and maybe they could
No
at least
mercy.
explain why he's a knob.
What would you want to see? Like, what's an explanation? Like, oh, his daddy was racist or something like that. Now he's racist, or
Yeah, I just get the feeling he's a rich asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the view I have of it. So then it's kind of crap.
Ooh,
Yeah.
maybe they could go like super serious and have like an abusive
An
family
abusive.
backstory.
I'd get really annoyed if they started developing him before anyone else. Like,
oh, you and me
Yeah,
both,
yeah.
Chris.
Focus on the
think,
other
I think
teams
all of
first.
us, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I could see. I mean, if we get that Juniper Slice of Life spinoff, I mean, come on.
Oh my god, I want that so bad.
But yeah, barring that, I definitely wouldn't want to see anything other than just kind of like there's a big fight or something like that, or even the tournament, like him and John square off one on one or somehow, and Jean ends up beating him, and it's kind of like, you done all right, like I acknowledge that I was kind of a dick, so we're cool now. Because let's face it, Cardin wouldn't be like, oh no, I was wrong, right?
He's a bit too proud.
More than a bit.
More than a bit, yeah. So removing characters, we've said Cardin, but who else? Just kind of out of curiosity, would y'all say?
Um, I don't know, because I gotta say, like, as much as they like introducing just a bunch of random characters, I feel like they all kind of have their place, as much as there is like
Oh,
too many of them.
Scarlet and Sage, they don't have to exist.
Well, I mean, you gotta have a team, right? If you're competing in the tournament, you gotta. Well, actually, Penny, right? We don't see her with a team,
Yeah.
so if
Oh god,
it's
they're not going to introduce a bunch of characters for her team, are they?
She'll just
It's
have
just
like the
it's just
toaster
three
and
like Atlas
microwave on
Knights.
her side.
a toaster and a microwave, and then what's the fourth member? A TV?
Coffee maker.
Coffee maker.
Coffee maker, of course. That's where Velvet and Coco came from. So we have Scarlet and Sage, maybe. We could possibly say like the rest of Team Sun, and just kind of have Sun be like that Outland, or not Outland, the kind of foreign kid that smuggled his way on, not in a school necessarily, and just like that ruffian, kind of like what we saw before Volume 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's kind of hard to take that out of context now that I've seen Volume 2, but I can kind of picture what it would be like without a Neptune, and just Sun like sneaking into Beacon to like go hang out with Team RWBY and whatnot. But I don't know, because I may get some flack from this, especially from some of the White Rose shippers, but I like Neptune. I'm not gonna say he's my favorite character, because he's not, but he's
I like
not
him.
bad.
I enjoy him as a character.
Yeah.
Neptune's good. You just ship him with the wrong person.
Yeah, he's not a bad character. People are really bothered by him because he threatens their ships.
Yeah. I ship him with
I
Jean.
think that's the main reason.
Just going for that Miles carry dynamic.
Neptune Jean. I think that would be Arctic Ocean, so like John Arc, and then Neptune is water, obviously. So
Yeah.
I think that's the ship name. Don't hold me to that.
Does it really need a ship name?
Of course, man.
Yes.
Everything needs a ship name.
Everything needs a name.
I mean, we have. I don't want to bring it up, but we have
You can't
Part
sail a
Wolf.
ship you can't sail a nameless ship, man. That just doesn't happen.
Just doesn't happen. I mean, look at Pussy Magnet. Once it got a kick-ass name, it started picking up some steam. So.
It's definitely just the name.
Nah, man.
At least at first.
Nah, man. You gotta stand up, stick to your guns, and then type up a really big explanation. So. Then. Removing characters. It would have been nice to not have Coffee, I think.
Yeah.
Because that way we could kind of say, all right, here's this one Faunus that got bullied, right?
And they could have kept her as a first year, which, I mean, really, would a first year be bullying someone who's much stronger than them?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Cardin
Well,
is that much of a dick, so.
Yeah, and he is a big first year, right? Like,
he's a big bloke.
he's a big bloke, yeah. Who would win, Cardin or Yatsuhashi? Complete.
Yatsuhashi.
Oh, Yatsuhashi.
He's
Yeah.
got he's got a
That
foot
guy's like
on him.
7'3".
It'd be like
Yeah.
stomping an ant.
Speaking of Yatsuhashi, since the last time we recorded, we were looking at at. We saw a video come up.
Is this the Banesaw one?
The Banesaw and
Ah, that video.
Yatsuhashi Theory AMV type thing.
That was really well done.
While it was a really good video, in my opinion, it I just can't get behind that. Like, you
I
you'd
don't
see the
think anyone,
tattoos, right?
yeah, I don't think anyone seriously believed it, but the video itself just made a really good case for it outside of the fact that it's basically impossible.
Basically impossible. Yeah, and we also have to look at the probability of
Could
however
be a
old
brother.
Well, how
I
would he
was gonna
get
say,
from the
yeah.
train to
to
where
the
he was
airship.
at the
Yeah.
start of that episode? Yeah.
See, yeah, I definitely think like having it be like a family member would be a really cool plot twist.
Yeah, and I mean, other than like body, like their build and haircut, I don't really see it happening though.
Yeah.
Again, that would require like Yatsuhashi and Banesaw development for us to even give a crap.
Exactly.
Which means less development for RWBY.
Yeah. So, screen time. It's while there is a lot of potential, and I'd be down to read a fanfic, if it had that kind of relationship. Maybe even, 4chan green text about it. They write about everything. But yeah, something along those lines maybe. Not anything in the show. So, uh, well, speaking of fanfics, there's a project going on pretty early in the stages, but it's worth mentioning, I think, where we have an audio book or audio reading of fanfiction that might happen right now, as of January 24th, when we're recording. It's still in the planning stages, so it may not happen, but that's in the works. So what are y'all's thoughts on that, and what fan fiction would you like to hear read?
If someone says Blood Rose, I'll stab
I,
them.
God damn it.
Beat them to it. But what on a serious note? Start with you, Tester. What are some that you'd like to see?
Gold could work.
Now, which gold are you talking about?
The
There's
one with like 8 chapters.
okay,
I
yeah,
can't
because
remember who it's
there's
by.
a one shot and a very large 8 chapter one that are both titled Gold and are both pretty popular.
And both have a gut punch of feels.
The feels, yeah.
There's a couple more, but a lot of them have bad grammar, and you don't want to have to be correcting it as you read it out.
Well, hopefully we've got.
Or just do like a Your Grammar Sucks reading of it.
Oh, that would be great.
just complete satire, just like. And now he walked along the.
It's like that old Half-Life video. Was it Full Life Consequences? Like
No,
it was
John,
just
you are the demons.
yeah, you are a headcrab zombie.
I don't know.
But yeah.
I want to see maybe one short video of that, but I don't know if I can. I'd sit through a whole like 20-30 minute reading.
Oh, I absolutely would.
Alright, would you read it? Would you be the one doing the recording?
Yeah, I'd do it.
Okay.
Just somebody link
I
me
mean,
some
if
stuff.
people
I'll do
wanted
it.
to suffer through it, I'd do it.
Yeah, it could be fun to read. Get
Hmm?
people to do voices for different characters.
I think I would embellish the character a bit. Maybe some choice words.
Choice words, yeah. We all know, at least with your username, what to expect. So that'd definitely be something I'd be interested in, but the time requirements, it's because you got to read ahead and kind of plan out how you're going to say each. So if they had some blocking, like, okay, so, this is going to be read this way or something like that, that would help, but I don't know if I'd want to take a long,
Yeah.
chapter or something like that.
I'm pretty sure it's inevitable someone's gonna end up reading Blood Rose, so
Yeah.
we might get it anyway.
That's gonna be like the maybe third one, if that.
Probably name Jawa, actually.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, didn't he do chapter 1? I think I remember seeing that. I may have had to remove it, but yeah, it's not safe for work fan fiction, that's for sure. So, other fan fiction and fan art we can talk about is what's currently being voted on for MonCon, January MonCon. By the time this comes out, it should be over. If I'm correct, I think this episode comes out on February 1st, so it'll be over, so we're not gonna color anyone's votes. So what are some of the let's talk about the fan art first. What did you like the most and why? And quick reminder on the subject of MonCon. It was Jean Arc and Pyrenikos, and the theme was boats. So your fan art or fan fiction had to be relevant to that. So Paragade, what was yours, or what
Uh,
are you looking at?
for the fan art, it's definitely the first one I saw was the SS Arcos. I like that one. I also like the flying in the SS Arcos, the little comic one. I thought that one was pretty cute.
Absolutely, yeah. Uh, I know a lot of people would like to sink the Weisberg at the bottom. That one's by Mad Gamer 2K7, by the way. We'll have a link to MonCon in our link dump, which we'll hopefully have this time. I know a couple people mentioned that we need to have links to what we're talking about, and we will do that this episode, I promise. Um, the SS Arcos you referred to is by Epic Hobo on Reddit and Darum on DeviantArt. So he has two usernames. So, but then you said between those two, flying in the SS Arcos and the SS Arcos, which which would you kind of prefer?
Ooh, that is a tough question. I think just the SS Arcos.
Yeah,
It's a very calm, like kind of peaceful piece.
yeah, and extremely well done. All this months were very good. Uh, we're drawn very well. So, Chris, what about you?
Well, I liked it was the first one I saw actually, because I hadn't been keeping up with the art. But I saw Quest to Reclaim the Booty, and
Oh
I
yeah,
really liked sort of the art style. It sort of looked more like a not quite realistic. Looks more I'm not good at describing art, but I liked just the art style and all the little details that were put in it, like the um, carving on the banister, the little paw prints on the map, and just it. I thought it was a really good piece.
yeah, and that's definitely one of my favorites since it's got Pyrrha and Bella Booty on the map. So we got a nice
And
pussy magnet
Alcoholic John.
reference.
Yeah.
Say that again?
Alcoholic John,
Oh
just
hey,
off to the
Because
side.
he's finally realized he missed his chance.
and now he's going along to help Pyrrha get with Blake. Yeah. So
Yeah,
hey.
and John's gonna hit his realization and find Velvet, right?
Oh
Totally.
man. Or wait, no, find Neptune, right? Because they're in the water, Arctic
Yeah.
Ocean. It's gonna
Oh,
be a
oh.
thing, right?
I like this piece even more now.
Oh, confirmed. There you go.
uh, yeah, that was definitely one that I really liked for the Pussy Magnet reference, but then Seasick by our very own Mary, who's running the event. I I liked that. It was more simplistic. I think you couldn't really tell it was John. So
John
there's
also has a really pointy butt.
wait, you
That's,
don't have a pointy butt? Is that
Yeah.
wrong?
I got a nice round butt.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I mean,
I just got a very weird look for saying that.
yeah. So we have we have a good bit of art and a lot of fan fiction. I think there were about 15 fan fiction submissions. I
Oh
personally
boy.
haven't read any of the fan fiction, so
No, I haven't read any either.
has anyone?
uh,
No? Alright.
Didn't you write one?
Who?
I
Me?
no, Fango made one. I think that's the only one out of the
yeah.
podcast guys who did one.
Yeah, let's see. The Drake, CFC Kyle, Axslayer33, Eda Dick Clark, great username. Techni Sawada, I said that so wrong, I'm guessing. Then the Fingophobic Gamer, who's our guy. Uh, yeah, I mean, other than that, I don't really see anyone else that I've interacted with a ton on the subreddit uh, that's written any. So I'll definitely try and read a few before I, vote or not vote. So, but I don't know Arcos the Arcos bait in this one. I don't know. I may have to abstain.
I know that feeling. I mean, Arcos is okay, but it'll probably happen in the show too, so we might just have to accept that.
I'm pretty sure that's like a guarantee.
Well, I mean,
As
they're
hard as it is to
young.
realize.
They're young. They can make mistakes, right?
Yeah, Part's got his dream. Don't take that away from him.
I
Yeah.
won't. I won't.
Keep the canon stuff. If that ends up Arc Ghost, then all my non-canon stuff has to be Pussy Magnet, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So as far as ships, I think we're pretty diverse, but between us right now. But I am pretty happy because Tester, you are. I'm trying not to use your
Nice
full
save there.
username
Yeah.
the whole time. Yeah, you couldn't even tell. But
Very smooth.
smooth as butter. But you're a Pussy Magnet guy for sure. Then you also like Sea Monkeys, Scarlet Knight. Then Chris, your OT3 is Pyrrha, Blake, and Ruby.
Yep.
Paragade, you're left out. Unless you hop on now, Pussy Magnet's gonna leave you.
No, I've been on board for a while.
Okay.
Pretty much like since I first saw it, I'm like, yes, this is a thing.
Even without Best Girl, right? Because you're Nora.
Yeah. Although, yeah, I can't commit to one ship. That's my thing.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just
Yeah,
fair.
all too adorable.
that's why mine's an OT3 because I don't really support any one ship, and that's just my favorite, but it's impossible to happen. So
Greek honeys.
The Greek Honey's OT3. That's
I
probably one of my
I don't
favorite
believe.
things to see.
I like the blonde roast name that kind of has popped up.
Now, what is Blonde Roast?
It's Jean and Coca.
Okay.
Well,
Uh,
Honestly,
oh,
just for the
not
name.
wait, like coffee?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. See, I'm gonna sound like a terrible Italian. I don't drink coffee,
You
man.
terrible, terrible Italian.
Nah. I mean, let's give me some lasagna and spaghetti. I'll eat that all day. but can't say I do coffee. I love the smell. Can't really drink it. But yeah, blonde roast. That's definitely a name.
Yeah. I don't know. I get into ships just for the name.
I think
Like
that's what most people do.
yeah, like I just kind of like went through the mass shipping sheet and just kind of like, oh, that's awesome. Like that's now my thing.
So like, Optimus Primate would be one that you like.
That
Oh
one
yeah,
was pretty
That is a
absolutely.
good.
great name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be Penny's son for those of you who aren't on the shipping sheet right now. Yeah,
A lot of the
My favorite.
teacher ones have some pretty amazing ship names.
Yeah, my favorite one on the shipping sheet at the moment's got to be Wolf.
uh,
I
I
even
like
drew
yeah,
fan
Uber.
art for that.
yeah. I mean, we've got this really sucks, but we've got almost as much Part Wolf fan art as safe for work Pussy Magnet fan art. Let me put that disclaimer because there's a nice chunk of not safe for work, but
Oh, I
we
bet you
won't
know
be
about
linking that not safe for work fan art. You're gonna have to find that on your own.
that.
18 plus.
Definitely. Uh, yeah, I mean, ship names are definitely fun, but if it's got good art, I'm probably gonna ship it. And Fire Flower would probably be one of those, or Cinder Ruby, Falling Petals, something like that. Uh,
Yeah,
I
there's
think
I
some
my
pretty
favorite
good
ship
art
name
for
is
that.
yeah. I think my
Anything
favorite
with
ship
Glinda.
yeah. I think my favorite ship name is probably Yang Bang. Yang X Yang.
Yang and who?
Yang and Yang.
Uh, are we talking, just like pure double, or is this like, Yang and, male gender
I
bend Yang?
I think I saw that on a thread where it had like Rule 63 uh like characters, and I think there's like a male Yang and a female Yang like hanging out, and somebody came up with
The male Yang was pretty attractive in that.
that.
Yep.
Sexy men, I'm not adverse, I may be straight, but there are a few gentlemen that, I'd swing for.
I'm completely comfortable with myself. I have no problem admitting that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
So, all right. Well, we've been recording for a good deal. I think that's where we'll call it for this podcast. Uh, Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening in. We'll have a link dump in the description of the video as well as in our Reddit post, so keep an eye out for both of those. And everyone say goodbye, and we'll sign off.
Bye.
See you
See ya.
later.
All right. This has been It's Also a Podcast. Thank you again for listening. Have a good night.